Thank you, Mr. Lieutenant Governor. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, Nebraskans. I rise in continued opposition to LB1, and I'm also not too busy today to stand up for the trans and non-binary people in Nebraska. I'm not too busy. I have time. Senator Groene, who believes in science as long as it's in the Bible, to hear him tell it, has shared his bigotry here once again by talking about people as pronoun Nazis. And it goes without saying that people are not cattle, but to use his example of bulls and cows, there are more than just bulls and cows. And anyone who knows the difference between a bull and a steer and a heifer and a cow should understand somebody using he, she, or they. It's good etiquette to call people what they want to be called. It does nothing to you, period. If I say I'm a woman and you think I'm a man, you don't need to tell me that you think I'm a man. You can go write it in your diary, you can keep it to yourself, you can go tell your hetero wife over your hetero dinner while you're surrounded by photos of your children that you had to have sex to have. Because when you talk like this about people's pronouns and people's identities, you're the one obsessed with sex. You're the only one talking about it. Nobody else cares, because you're the one who keeps bringing it up, period. A lot of people like Senator Groene say stuff like, I have no problem with LGBTQ people, but why do they have to talk about it so much? Nobody cares who you have sex with. But something that straight people often fail to understand is that for queer people, for people who aren't straight, we spend years oppressing our identity and oppressing a very fundamental part of ourselves, and that can be very traumatic. And a lot of us grow up coping and living with that trauma from our childhoods. And when we come out, we don't want to just quietly exist in the world. We want to celebrate ourselves just like everybody else by having a picture of your spouse at your desk or saying what your pronouns are, letting people know who you are. That's a gift. And I think that what we have to do is make up for lost time in our culture and make sure that there are no LGBTQ kids who have to live in shame the way we did, the way people in my generation did, and people before me. And that's a big part of the work that I do here and the value of the platform that I feel like we have here. It's not just about gender. It's not just about who we have sex with. And imagine that in reverse. Whenever someone heterosexual, which is all of you as far as you say, whenever you say something like, oh, I went out to a movie with a guy, I went on a date, my wife and I are having a picnic, we're expecting a baby, I have to go to a baby shower, there's a christening. We never say, stop talking about sex. We never say, we get it, you're hetero, stop rubbing it in our face, or, you and your baby talk, you're always talking about doing it. Like, that's ridiculous, but that's what you're saying about us. It's prurient and it's gross, and you're the only one talking about it. When LGBTQ people talk about their lives and normal stuff that happens in their lives, so many people sexualize it for no reason. And that's what Senator Groene is doing when he does this stuff. I'm glad that Senator Pansing Brooks brought up the pronoun Nazi stuff. It is so inaccurate and low and honestly anti-Semitic to draw any kind of comparison between kids who want to be referred by who they are and Nazis. Someone, especially a child, especially a young person, saying, my name is this and these are my pronouns, they're giving you a gift. They're giving you the gift of allowing you to know them. They're being vulnerable, they're opening up to trust you, and to crap on that and turn around on them and say, you're pronoun Nazi? That's low down.
1 minute.
And it's the kids who hear this kind of stuff, and yeah, that is what makes them want to move out of Nebraska. And their parents too, and their friends, and anybody of a modern mindset in Nebraska who says, we just moved here and we've got a great job here in Nebraska, but then I turn on the legislature and I hear some guy saying pronoun Nazi from Western Nebraska saying, why does anyone want to come live out here? So we can get some more senators and some more representation. Well, look at yourself in the mirror. Be nice. Don't worry about what people are doing. It doesn't affect you. Relax. Write it in your diary. Thank you, Mr. Lieutenant Governor.